recovery. I'm back. We're actually here today, and I'm not leaving like last time. First thing before we even get started today, be aware the grand opening is on the 20th of this month, so November. Starts at 10 a.m. So get yourself down here. The soft launch has happened, so you can book in already and get your treatments booked in and start using the facilities. But we have got the massive grand opening, the epic one happening later in the month. I'm here today to see the lovely Amanda. She's going to do physiotherapy today with me. Basically, I'll go into more details when we go in there, and I'm pretty sure she's got a lot to say on the matter. I've already told you guys that it's very important to get this done. So we're going to get cracking because I'm actually a bit late because I was getting my hair cut. So I've got fresh for the occasion. So we'll head in and we'll say hello to Amanda. Cool. Many of the great staff here. Eric kind of runs the joint. He's one of the commanders. He's busy with a fella in a minute. We'll just breeze past and we'll say hello.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Redcon One Recovery. Mr. James Hollingshead is in good hands with our lovely Dr. Amanda. You will check us out
guys.
soon.
So guys, remember, super grand opening on the 20th.
Anything in particular you need to work on today?
I'll help you with that.
I'm just starting to get back in, getting more routine with it. We might do legs though.
Legs? Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Right.
No problem. Shoes off.
Thank you.
New trainers.
Oh, are these the ones you got yesterday?
I bought some new Jordans. I'm trying to become American. Everyone's telling me I'm I felt left out. Everyone's like, you need a pair of Jordans.
You gotta be trendy.
Exactly. They said all I need now is a pickup truck, and then I'm actually looking at one. I'm going to look at one next week.
Really?
Yeah, I need to get a car now. I've been renting one I've been using a car rental for the last few weeks, and it's not the cheapest way to do things. Let me just tell you that, guys.
No.
So if I can get them off, they're almost too tight now. The dramas. 275 pounds. I'm allowed to get out of breath. Do you want the shorts or do you not want shorts? What's easy for you?
No, shorts are fine.
Cool.
Unless you have any that.
Yeah, I think they can come right up. Yeah, they can.
Yeah, they're fine. You're fine.
Sweet. All right, where do you want me? Just throw
Let's
myself
have
on?
you. Lie down, face up.
Yeah. I'm sweating from taking my shoes off. Sorry.
Now you get to chill.
Now you're going to be like Felipe was sweating last time. If you look at the last video, he was sweating more than me.
Yeah, you definitely got some stuff in the legs we gotta work on.
I haven't had actually. So the last time I had a treatment, guys, was actually I think it was pre-Olympia.
Yeah,
So
I think it was right. It was right before Olympia. Yeah.
Literally, so there's a few knots that have accumulated since then for sure.
Just a few.
Yeah, I can literally, I can feel now where Amanda's hands are. I can.
All of that.
Yep.
And that one right in here.
It feels good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like so greasy. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Got a bunch of those trigger points in there that we need to work out. I know this up too.
You don't mind me asking questions today, just for the viewers, do you? Like just a few little.
Sure. Absolutely.
So we'll try and be educational with it as well. I suppose the first thing I'll ask is, if you don't mind asking, what's the cause of the knots? Why so many knots in my old legs? Is it just from training, or is there other factors?
There's a variety of things. So, for you specifically, you do a lot of training.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a lot of training, and is regular micro tears, wear and tear of your muscles, and depending on the muscles that you're working, you can start getting little trigger points in there. Sometimes it's from the fascial adhesion. So fascia around your muscles is kind of like a sausage casing. Yeah. If certain things get a little more adhered, you can feel that. If I'm kind of poking on certain areas, I kind of feel a little bit more gravelly or a little more sensitive. They're kind of little areas where
like
yeah. I could find trigger points in anybody.
Yeah.
But there's certain spots that can kind of start getting a little more adhered, a little more sensitive where the nerves are. And that's what I want to work out, because if your muscles have too much of those, muscles can start spasming up.
Yeah.
Which is going to impact your workouts, which is going to impact your tolerance to working out. And we don't want that. And sometimes muscles can feel a little bit more stiff, like they're not moving very well.
Absolutely.
So,
So yeah, guys, there you have it. Adhesions and look, that feels good. You're just gonna hear me make noises today, people. This is a video just for my own.
Some people cry, some people start swearing.
See, I like it because I know that I can feel the good happening. Because you can, it feels terrible. But
it's not supposed to feel good.
Yeah.
You'll feel better afterwards.
Exactly, and that's what I like, is how much better it feels by the end. And the fact that, good people, they identify these areas without even having to say. I haven't said anything about it anywhere, have I? Like, we've been filming off the straight up. So I haven't walked in and said, this particular point of my leg is feeling a certain way. Amanda literally put her hands on there and was like, that's one there. And I was like, yep. I didn't even have to identify that. So that gives me great confidence as well, like knowing that I can just literally relax, and she just does what she does. And I'm just like, sweet, thank you very much. So it's,
especially when training is as important as it is for you, and this is part of the lifestyle.
Sure.
This is even just maintenance, not even having to make a full regular appointment all the time. This is like maintenance stuff, especially if you're training a lot. This is your lifestyle. I think there's a lot of things that we can do in physical therapy to make sure that we're optimizing that for you.
I've found in the past, like, even just to keep on top, even to keep as a baseline of like health from this perspective, like I typically would get 2 treatments a week, one upper, one lower, and that would just about maintain me. So that just shows how much like physical activity is happening and how much wear and tear. Because if I took away any one of those, the upper body, I usually get an upper body session and a lower body session. If I was to not do one of them in the week, I would know about it the next week, put it that way.
Because it's not just muscle, it's joints.
Yeah.
And joints get stiff. If your joints aren't moving well, that puts more stress on certain muscles. And if it's stiff and not moving as well, not having full range of motion, that impacts daily life and how well you're doing your workouts.
Well, that's when you feel it most. I'll be honest. When I feel any issues most is not in the gym. It's when you're doing your daily activities. So like Amanda said, it's things like getting in the car, getting out the car, carrying shopping. Because in the gym, you're kind of... The reason you don't feel things always in the gym is because you're so like in tune with setting yourself on a certain range of motion or plane of motion. So a lot of things we do is very just like up and down. Sometimes the issues are more when you're moving more freely, like turning and bending and leaning over and things like that, which in the gym you don't often do because you're just doing specific exercises. So I notice a lot more of the issues occurring in my everyday life. So like I say, walking up the stairs or taking a turn, just silly little things. Whereas in the gym, like I don't feel it as much, but you will notice that when you do get this like therapy done, that when you are in the gym and you do train that particular body part again, one thing that I do really notice is just how much fresher and more pumped the muscle feels. And then that's going to be obviously down to a lot of reasons, but especially if things are, what you say, bunched up or tight, that's obviously restricting a lot of blood flow and potential pump. So when these points are released, and you go in the gym and you train that body part, you do feel much better for it. So yeah, I think all in all, it's not just good for the gym; it's good for all round life.
Yeah.
I would get physio even if I didn't train, for sure. I would definitely get like these.
I had a guy in here today who originally came in for neck pain.
Yeah.
His neck was very stiff, but I showed him, like, this is also an issue with your upper back. Your upper back's not moving well, puts more stress on your neck, and now your neck's fighting back too. And he's in a couple sessions, he's felt a world of difference. He can turn more easily. He remembered how stiff he was coming in the first time, and giving him exercises to do on his own and working on his back and getting it moving well. He's feeling like a new man.
Well, me and Milky, we were picking your brains yesterday, weren't we, or the day before? And, we learned things in 5 minutes that we'd never known before. So, there's so much to it, and there's so many great things you can take away with you, like for homework as well. Like, like you say, you can give people specific little tasks or movements to perform that will help them prevent some of the issues they've had, like reoccurring. Like, it's a lot of people, mostly, we were saying, weren't we? It's the upper, like the thoracic is very kind of not really mobile. A lot of people are very stiff in the upper back. So, like you just said there, you had a general public person come in, not necessarily someone that trains, but they have this stiffness in their upper back, and that's something that, whether you train or not, a lot of people have it. A lot of people have it. Felipe!
James, what's up, brother?
Busy day today?
What happened?
Have you had a busy day today?
Oh yes, very
Good.
busy.
Seen all the special people, all the higher ups.
Yes, yeah, some of them.
Felipe deals with a lot of the hierarchy, so he's got a lot of pressure on him.
No pressure.
He's got the Aarons, the Dariels.
Yeah.
I like the pressure. I like being there.
Performs well under pressure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you as well, brother. I'm just gonna clean up this table a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Have they done cupping on you before?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, so you don't mind any cupping bruises,
No,
right?
I don't mind it.
Perfect.
I'm open to anything. Thank you. I'm just chilled when I'm laying on this bed. Whatever the hell, and I'm just like.
Take a nap.
Yeah. Felipe knows I do fall asleep. I can fall asleep in the middle of
Yeah.
someone literally putting an elbow in my leg.
Yeah.
I just fell asleep getting my hair cut.
There you go.
Same thing.
You got your haircut?
Yeah, it's had a little trim on top.
You were just with Juice?
Yeah.
Nice, man. How's he doing?
Juice is good, man. Yeah.
Good.
He loved it because he actually saw Amanda last time for the stretching on the
Influencer day, yeah.
Influencer day.
Oh, cool.
So he was all shackled up in the belts.
Oh, yeah.
I was doing lateral hip distraction for
He
him.
loved it.
Oh yeah, he felt so much better after that.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
He said he was working with you on his leg, and his leg was feeling better. And
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had the knee surgery, didn't he?
Yep. We took him a long way.
Wow, this feels. I can feel this like.
you feel all that graveliness in there, right?
Yeah. Especially in that area that we would identified earlier. Wow.
Little areas where kind of lighting up where there's a little more blood flow there, and a little more inflammation. So the spots that were feeling a little tighter and the trigger points before, you can feel all of that.
Wow, it feels good actually.
Good.
Wow, that's strange.
Yeah, feel all that pulling in there.
Yeah.
You can even hear it.
That's actually like quite. Ooh.
Uncomfortable, I know.
Yeah, and I'm like seeing myself.
Yeah, this is not the comfortable part of PT.
Confirm it, but I will express that this is not necessarily the most comfortable thing. But
Yeah, a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with PT, and that's okay. It won't feel good when you're in the middle of it, but
Right,
afterwards,
it's
the whole point is you're feeling better than when you walked in.
exactly.
Didn't take overnight for all this stuff to get in there. It's not
No,
going to take overnight to get it back, but it'll make a world of difference.
It's probably one of the most weird feeling things and painful actually that I've had. Wow. It's because it pulls and winning the knee, like the muscle insertions. It's like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's like you feel tight. Like look at me, like I don't normally go like that.
Yeah, people don't usually fall asleep on this one. You can't really take a nap
Definitely not on
on
this one. Oh my god.
Well, there he is right there.
Wow.
Need a break?
Yeah, this is like bite your finger shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Need a break.
Oh, you know what it is? You know my teardrop where it joins from the knee.
Yep.
Obviously, you're putting the sucker on it, yeah. And then it intensifies the tightness of, I suppose it's the tendon under that pulls into the.
The tendons are right down
right
here.
there,
Yep.
where she's pointing
here.
now. I was like, whoa!
Yeah. Quad tendon right
I'm
there.
just literally being very honest with you guys. That's the most bitchy I've ever been. Wow.
Because all of your quads, all four of those muscles will come down to your quad tendon, and it inserts right on your patella, your kneecap, right there.
It's all running through there.
So, and all of the fascia connects, it kind of covers all your muscles, so it's covering all the way around. And when I'm working on that spot specifically, it was pulling
That was
right on your VMO.
literally like, I got to prepare myself for that shit. Woo. Someone do this to Aaron. See if he can find it.
I'm sure he probably has. Knowing Felipe, he probably has.
Yeah, basically when you're not in your pre-contest phase, this kind of treatment's great because it will leave a few marks on you, which obviously isn't ideal like we said pre-show, but post-show, when you're looking to improve
Oh, sure,
performance.
absolutely.
Yeah, you're trying to improve performance, recovery, grow. Like this is vital. It really is.
That's feeling better. More tolerable for you now than it was before.
Yeah, it was like, honestly, it was like I wanted to bite my finger off. I was like that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still not like a lovely feeling.
No, it is
The
not.
percentages of pain have dropped a touch.
You can see the difference. That spot versus everything else is so much better.
God damn.
Yeah, we're gonna do some ART on your calves too. All that fun stuff.
Just like anticipation.
I'm sure they've already done that on you before.
Yeah, I've had some nasty calf work before. So it tickles more. This is like tickling me. Might be because I'm left-footed and left-handed, so the senses are different. I don't know.
Maybe. Usually they can be little differences side to side. Everybody's a little different.
Yeah, I feel like when things touch my left side, I'm more ticklish.
Hey, don't get me wrong, you definitely still have some of that
Yeah,
graveliness on this side, and still VMO.
yeah.
VMO right down here. You're still getting it right along. Similar spot to the other side, but you can see how red this one
Yeah.
was. All that blood flow that kind of rushed in there.
This is my weaker leg. One always fatigues first.
Yep, so now you can see that little spot's kind of lining up in there.
Happy thoughts.
No biting fingers.
Yeah, if I'm quiet, it's just because I'm like fighting something. Which is weird because most people, when they try to fight something, probably talk and try and over.
Some people laugh,
Yeah,
some
I'm
people
like-
swear, some people...
I'm like, breathe.
Yep. Deep breaths. Holding your breath does not make this feel any better. And we don't want any passing out. Not in PT.
No.
That's the rule, no passing out in PT. Comparatively, this is you are lighting up on this side, but not as much as the other one. It's not as gravelly and adhered up here.
The other one in the initial phases was like, wow. Like I said, it was actually pretty painful versus everywhere else.
A little one in here.
Getting lower body done is the most satisfying thing, I'd say. You always feel so good after just walking like you got a new pair of legs.
Well, it is your biggest muscles, so
Exactly. I think people underestimate how important it is.
temporary pain to feel a whole lot better afterwards, and lasting effects on your workout. Yeah, but you can see a difference, one side versus the other. This one lit up a little bit, but not as bad. This one, that whole
So the
spot
side
right
that's
there.
like more red is the one that has more issues. Essentially, yeah.
It
So,
had more of those adhesions, more of those trigger points that were more sensitive on this side. Now, if I'm poking in there now, feels different.
yeah, it's not as bad as it was at all. Like when she poked on that at the beginning of this session, I was like, oh shit. So
I could find trigger points on anybody.
it says a lot. So yeah, she is the trigger point identifier.
Nail those suckers.
This is why everyone needs to come to Red Corn Recovery.
checking ankle mobility as well, because that also impacts your muscles too. I'd say a little bit stiffer on that side. Yeah. So your knee doesn't really bend as much and compensate there versus if I did it this side.
Yeah.
Just a little bit in there. Okay. Yeah. So this is going to be more comfortable than the previous stuff. And it will be uncomfortable again with working on your calves and hamstrings
It's
afterwards.
going to be uncomfortable again.
Just giving you a little bit of a break.
This is the little break in between.
Well, it does make a difference because if your ankle is stiff, then your ankles aren't moving through full range of motion. Your calves have to work harder through a shorter range of motion.
Yeah.
And you can end up getting more issues in the calves.
I always find my left foot's a little bit lazy as well. It drops easier.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, like when you walk,
Mm-hmm.
my left foot's kind of slants.
Mm-hmm.
My right one's very good at staying kind of in its neutral position.
Yeah, so we're kind of testing out, okay, is it joint mobility? Is it a muscle issue where one's weaker than the other? Is it nerve issue?
Yeah, I don't know, who knows?
Well, it's a whole, if it's feeling like it's dropping, if it's not pushing off as well, it's a whole assessment we can do to look at that one. Yeah, that's better. No, your big toes are definitely stiff, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, I think my actual feet was a bit beat up. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get bloody arthritis. My mum had arthritis in her hands.
That's more rheumatoid.
Yeah.
Rheumatoid's usually hands, sometimes elbow,
Okay.
like wrists, things like that. Osteoarthritis, which is very common, is typically knees,
Yeah.
hips, shoulders. Those are the top three.
Okay. Another interesting fact.
And there's different. It'll be a different presentation too.
Yeah.
So osteoarthritis is notorious for feeling stiff in the morning, and then as you move around a little bit, feels a little better, and by the end of the day, might feel extra sore if you've been moving around and getting everything done. And treatment is also very different for osteoarthritis versus rheumatoid.
Yeah.
So, onset for osteoarthritis, in everybody in this building, I guarantee you has some level of arthritis somewhere, but it may not be symptomatic. And it really depends on, and it all differs per person. And they might look at X-rays and say, oh, they have really, really bad arthritis. But if they're, they might not even feel it. They might say it might be bone on bone, and oh, that's really bad. They might not even feel it. It'll affect mobility-wise. They might feel some grinding. They may not feel grinding. It might be painful. May not be painful. Or they might feel excruciating pain, and the X-ray might not say anything at all. So you can't really rely on imaging itself to tell you whether it's an issue or not. Osteoporosis is a bone density issue. So it'll get to the point, and they can do tests in terms of like a bone scan to see where the bone density is. It can get to a point where if it's osteopenia, this is before the point it gets to osteoporosis. If it's getting osteopenia, they want to be able to prevent the osteoporosis part. Once you got osteoporosis, you don't come back. But it's a bone density issue. So osteoporosis is when the bone, there's like little holes in there now. The bones aren't as strong anymore, and they have to be more careful, especially with falls. Falls, any breaks to the bone, that affects them far more, and healing is going to be more of an issue, and more of a long-term issue versus just osteoarthritis.
Yeah, we see a lot of this in the elderly, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Big issue with as they get older, calcium deposits aren't as high, and it does affect. It has much more detrimental effect if they fall or hurt themselves or anything like that.
Interesting.
No high impact workouts for osteoporosis.
Right.
Definitely not recommended.
Been told.
And it may be something that kind of runs in the family too, so you want to look at that.
Yeah.
And they will get tested. They get osteopenia. They'll recommend certain supplements or medications or
Yeah. Like you say, like this.
just light impact. Working on a light impact body weight. Either walking, going up and down stairs. That's okay too. Even doing like a body weight squat like that. That's it. Intermittent compression to those bones, that's okay. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, it's not excessive.
No. And if you're doing squat jumps and plyometric movements, no.
Yeah.
Little.
Maybe too vigorous, like you say.
Especially for osteoporosis, that's a
Yeah, it's a no-go.
that's a no.
Let's loosen up my big toes. Interesting.
It'll feel different walking around
Yeah.
afterwards.
Ooh, a few clicks.
Yeah, click in there. Because there's a whole mechanism, that windlass mechanism, all the way down there that helps with that push off too.
Yeah.
And if there's less of that tension and it's stuck more in that big toe is very important for that push off too. So this one clicks more than the other side.
Yeah. It's clicked about 3-4 times already.
Not necessarily a bad thing, but just clicks.
Yeah, the other one feels like it's more stiffer, but this one feels more mobile, but at the cost of clicking. But
Still a little stiff, but not bad.
I think a lot of people under respect their feet when it comes to like exercise in general. I think a lot of people don't value them, and they don't consider them.
No.
Like, so no one considers health of anything below the knee. And there's a whole, like you said, there's a whole body part that has its own mechanisms there. And if they're interfered with or not, performing as they can, then it can actually affect everything from there up.
Yep. Toes, ankles.
Yeah.
And it also largely depends on the activities you do and the sports that you're into and things like that. Dancing. Or, that's huge. Like ankles, feet, that's huge. But for everyday life, I don't think about, does my big toe have enough mobility to do a lot of things? Alright, move that around before we flip you over. See how that goes.
Nice.
A little different.
I've cut my nail a bit short on my big toe on my right one. So when you do that, when you cut your nails, and you cut a little bit too short on the outside.
Yeah.
I've done that with my big one, but it's not the most comfortable. Oh, my legs are feeling that. Yeah, it's not the most comfortable thing. Oh, man, if I have a sip of my water first.
Yeah.
Always drink as well, guys, during your sessions. This is very important.
Hydration.
Yeah.
And while you're up, walk around. See how those quads feel? See how your feet feel?
Feet feel pretty fresh, actually. So good. I'm not falling over, so that's good.
You need to be able to walk out of here. There are stairs over there.
Well, I feel good, actually. Yeah, feel good.
Good. All
I
right.
don't feel like locked.
Good.
Okay, so head down now.
So we're gonna move this right here.
Oh, going into the hole.
Actually, I want to lower this down too, just a little bit. Comfortable there?
Yeah, perfect.
Good. So, any preference on which one we start with?
Oh, they're both going to hurt, so whatever you think.
Yeah, you have more on your left.
Yeah, my left is definitely the more tight one, I feel, isn't it?
Yeah, your lateral head of your gastroc definitely has some more in there. Medial head, not as bad. But
Yeah, it's the outer head that I felt very tight.
We'll do some ART stuff on here. Different technique. Also not comfortable, but effective.
No.
You'll be fine. Alright, rest there for a second. Just warm this up a little bit. All along here. Definitely needs a little bit of work. Yeah, nice. There we go. Ready?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. I think I can tolerate carbs a bit more.
Okay.
Quad. It feels good.
Still okay there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All good.
Good. So this is a little different in terms of kind of pinning your muscle there
Yeah,
in that muscle, and then as it stretches.
yeah. I've always found this very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, not the most comfortable thing in the world,
No.
but very effective. Kind of really gets in that muscle. We can do this on many different muscle groups.
Yeah, I felt it on biceps felt good as well.
Mm-hmm.
I
Biceps, we've done
Lats.
forearms,
Yeah.
we've done calves.
Yeah, I always felt that this was really good, but if a muscle felt tight,
Mm-hmm.
it always it definitely helped release.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of picking different techniques that work for different areas, different issues, per tolerance of
Yeah.
the person you're working on too.
Yeah.
Some people really don't like the cupping and prefer this one. Some people vice versa. So it all depends.
Yeah, and then there's me who's like, just a bit of everything. A bit of everything's good.
Mm-hmm.
Cocktail of
Cocktail. PT cocktail.
yeah.
The healthy kind.
Yes.
Oh yeah, whatever. I need that too. Hamstrings aren't nearly as tight as everywhere else.
No.
Because that was much more comfortable for you, right?
Yeah, I literally, I'm not enough. I went in dreamland.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's not nearly as... Not a whole lot of trigger points. I wouldn't take out the cups on these areas. These ones feel pretty good. So, I'm going to work on this leg, and then I do want to check on some hip mobility
Yeah, no,
stuff.
yeah.
all day. All right, scoot toward me.
Yeah. I just gotta help you when I'm on one of these beds. It's just.
These are very comfortable.
Yeah. Because I wish I could sit hold sleep like this if I could. If I had a hole here. Whoa. Just can breathe.
I mean, if you want one of these tables, it's like $3,000, so, or something like that. But they are very comfortable.
Yeah.
They're good napping tables.
Oh, yeah.
I've never tried it, but I've been told they're good napping tables.
Yeah.
And relax. There we go.
This is not normal.
You had a nice nap?
Oh, nothing. It's weird because I'm still at 50% here.
You sure?
Yeah, I can still everything. And if you gave me a command, I'd do it. But
Yeah.
it's
Just got you zoned out.
it's like I'm taking something. Zoned me out. I love it.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, so it's good.
Again, your hamstrings really aren't that tight.
No, it's weird that they're pretty good mix.
Okay.
I just want to keep this bed.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that too. That way you don't have to move and you can stay in that position. Because I think you're the most comfortable in that position.
Sorry guys, it's great content. We should just record a video of James sleeping.
Well, I was just thinking of the topic we were talking about before. The osteoarthritis is, and the word literally means inflammation of the joint. And versus osteoporosis, which is different, and that's the bone, like we said, the bone density thing.
Yeah.
One doesn't necessarily lead to the other.
No.
Not. Alright, how you feel?
I need a wee and I need that. After every time I get like prodded, the restroom is needed. I just need to pass water. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. That's what we do.
So yeah, guys, like I know it's been half an hour sleep, but that just shows you the quality of the new tables and just another reason why you should come to Red. So yeah.
It's nothing to do with the physical therapy, he just
No,
likes the table.
he likes the tables. Physical therapy is a bonus. I'm actually paying for just to rent the table space for like an hour. So yeah, so I'm going to actually try and again with Amanda as much as I can. Like I say, I typically rotate between lower body and upper body. So we've investigated the lower body today and seen a few things and done a few things and identified a few things. And there's nothing too crazy out of the ordinary, it seems.
No.
So I think what will be really interesting is obviously next time I'll see what availability she has and try and get an upper body in, and maybe she notices a few things on the upper body that need some correcting, because I think there probably will be a few things on my upper body that actually are not problems, but that she'll probably be able to identify some things that could do with some adjustment or maybe putting into practice some, like I say, homework. I seem to have a bit of a funny right shoulder. Nothing too crazy, but it's one of them, if I'm not looking in the mirror and I'm posing, I always elevate my right shoulder more and it rolls forward more. So I think it's maybe a little bit to do with what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
I think there's
lower traps,
I think there's a weakness. Yeah, I think there's a weakness in the stability from around in the lower mid trap kind of area.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to see what that's all about.
And that's a whole. We can do a whole evaluation on it. We can do his maintenance sessions of just working his upper body just to make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
And that's the benefits of coming here regularly, because we know what's going on, and we've seen it before. We can see a difference session to session. We can see if there's anything else that comes up, or if things have improved.
Exactly.
If he's been doing his homework, we can tell if you don't do homework.
Exactly. So I need to be a good schoolboy and do my homework. But yeah, just want to say thank you. I'm very grateful for your time and your efforts. And
No problem.
I'm going to use the restroom and then I'm come back and get settled up. And then I got to do some upper body tonight. I've got to train. So get some total war, some big noise, and wake myself up because I've just had a nap. So I should be fresh. So yeah, guys, if you want to get in touch with Redcon Recovery, obviously they're situated here at Redcon Gym. They have their own page, Redcon Recovery, Redcon 1 Recovery. So yeah, we'll put some details up in the video somewhere for you. So if you do wish to call and book or anything like that, then you have that ability to do so. Even if we post it below the video, it'll be somewhere. Put it that way. So yeah, guys, get into the comments. Do like, subscribe, share. The channel's obviously growing, and like I've been saying since before the Olympia, I really want to see it hit the 100,000 mark. It is climbing slowly, so thank you to everyone that's getting involved. And from myself, from Redcon 1, and from Redcon 1 Recovery and Amanda, we'll see you soon. So peace and love. Take care.